What up, world? It's me again, Clark Boy Rob. Guess what? Back with another one. Growing up in New Orleans, Louisiana. Hold on. So this is a story about when I brought my first gun in New Orleans and when I shot my first gun in New Orleans. So y'all go on and roll up, sit back, relax, get you a drink, pour up, whatever you're gonna do, go ahead and get comfortable and chill out and check it out. So this was way back. I had to be like 11 or 12 years old when I shot my first gun in that project. In that St. Thomas project, I had to be at least 12. So I remember we was bored. I mean, I tell you, in that project, you get bored, but it was a lot of stuff to do. You always had something to do. And it was, I remember, shout out to my little brother, daddy, my step pops who raised us, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Rain. But that's a real one right there. Gotta give him some props, you know what I'm saying? He was there with us through the whole 12 years living in that project. You know what I'm saying? I only lived in the project 10 years because I got shipped off, but my brother and them stayed the last 2 years in the project with my mom and them, you know what I'm saying? But that's another story. That's another app. I'm gonna run some shit. I'm telling y'all, all these stories I'm running right now, all these apps is before I was 15 years old. This was from 89 to 99, my 10 years living in the St. Thomas project. So hopefully nobody get mad or upset or whatever we about to say, what I'm up. And everybody I'm mentioning in this video, I hope everybody's alive and well. Once again, straight up, shout out to my motherfucking brother Spec. Shout out to my brother Alvin. Shout out to my brother Joe. Free Joe. Straight like that. Free my brother, you hear me? So shout out to my motherfucking big dog Jomo. I'm about to tell you a story about Jomo. So, bam. I remember seeing some bullets in the drawer my stepdad had, and I remember taking them. I took the bullets. I'm telling you, we was getting into so much shit in the project, bro. So much. So I took the bullets. It was 4 bullets in that bitch. I took it. I'm like, damn, I don't even know what kind of gun to go to. I don't know none of that shit. You understand what I'm saying? So all I knew there was some bullets in the drawer. And my partner Jomo had a 32 revolver. Jomo had to be like 14 years old at this time. Joe had to be like 13 and I was like 12. I know they older than me, so but they wasn't much older than me. We was wilding in this project. I shot my first gun with these 2 dudes. So bam, I went and showed Joe that I had the bullets. Joe had been told Jomo that I had the bullets. So all 3 of us clicked up and we was waiting. We was just bored all day. We couldn't wait to shoot the gun. So bam, it turned dark. It was getting night. So when it turned dark, the driveway boys was on the porch. See, my mama stayed on the 3rd floor. My nigga Spec stayed on the 2nd floor. And Joe Modem stayed on the 1st floor. So they was shooting dice. All the dope dealers was shooting dice right there by Joe Mo's front door. So they wasn't paying attention to us. Their mind was occupied shooting dice. You heard me? So bam, me, Joe, and Joe Mo went across the street and by the old front court. The old front court is where it's in the project, but there's nobody was living in them buildings there. You know what I'm saying? They were just abandoned. So nobody was standing, none of the apartments in that front court. So bro, we went over there. Never forget this story because that's how I remember this story because this here happened. What I'm about to tell y'all, you know what I'm saying? So I remember we loaded the gun up. We went over there. I was 12 years old. Mind you, I'm like 12 years old. I'm telling you, 11 or 12. So Brown, I shot the gun. My first time, y'all hit that bitch. I turned it to the ground. Boom, I shot that bitch. When I shot it, I gave it to my partner Joe. So Joe grabbed the gun and Joe shot it. Boom! And mind you, we only had 4 bullets, but it was 3 of us. So Joe Mo was reaching for the gun, but Joe shot again. Boom! And I almost shot Joe Mo's hand off. That's how I remember the story. And then Joe had gave Joe Mo the gun, and Joe Mo hit it. Pow! We called Joe Mo because his name Jamal, and we have a Joe already we was hanging with, so it was Joe Mo instead of Jamal. You know what I'm saying? It was Joe Mo, Joe, and me. So when they gave me, I was the youngest one. They gave me back the gun. Bam! I stuck it in my hoodie. You know what I'm saying? Put my hoodie on and we ran right across the street. The DWB, the driveway boy, was so mad with us. They were pissed off. And then they were clowning with us and shit like, man, y'all niggas wild, but y'all niggas shooting all that playing and shit. They were pissed off. They were saying, man, y'all fucking playing and shit. And they were thinking this niggas shooting and shit. They shooting dice, niggas running. And I'm like, that shit was so fucking funny. Though. They were so mad with us. So shout out to the driveway boys. You hear me? Shout out to my dog Joe. Free him. You know what I'm saying? And tell he free. Shout out to my motherfucking dog Joe Mode. I love y'all niggas, and shout out to my motherfucking dog, Spec and Elvin, because I was always with Spec, Elvin, and Joe. I'm gonna tell y'all, you gonna hear those names right there a lot because I was always with them dudes. You know what I'm saying? And then my mama shipped me off to my dad at home in Louisiana. So everything from 15 to 17, I'm gonna run some more stories because I grew up in Homer, Louisiana, half the part of the way in my life too. And then I ended up moving to Homer, Louisiana after I got shot at. And from somebody in Homer, Louisiana. So when they shot at me, I moved to Homer, Louisiana as a grown-up. My dad shipped me back to New Orleans when I was 17. But when I got older, that's a different story. I'm going to let y'all know how I ended up moving to Homer, Louisiana. I'm moving back, shall I say, because I also graduated from Terrebonne High School and then in Homer, Louisiana. So it's a lot more stories. So that's the story when I shot my first gun. Now, this is a story about when I brought my first gun. You feel what I'm saying? So I was dealing with a little chick. And I want to say, when we were shooting guns, don't think I was lying because I'm not lying. It's not a story I made up. We shot that gun for real. You know what I'm saying? At the age of, I was like 12. So this is a story about my partner, Corey. We call him Nine Finger Corey. Nine Finger Corey had shot his finger off in elementary school. I think he was out for the whole year. He was in school. That's my partner. That's my brother. I love him to death. Shout out to Corey. And when he did come back to school the next year, they were showing us how he was showing us and telling us what happened, how he shot his finger off, you know what I'm saying, elementary school. So it was going down like that in that project, man. So this is a story about Navi and Corey when we got a little older. See, I was messing with a little chick. Our project was tore down by this time. So my mama moved to P-Town. I told you I got stories about P-Town too. We got into it with P-Town too because that's another app. I'm gonna run some shit with y'all. Y'all stick by me, you hear me, and fucks with me. So, bam, I was fucking with this little chick in Hollywood, and a nigga went to talking. Nigga came around there by her house, talking some shit. Excuse me, talking about what her baby daddy was gonna do me when he get out of jail and shit like that. I'm like, at this time, I'm like 17, 18 years old. I had been through so much. My dad had already shipped me back to New Orleans. My mom and them was living in P-Town, and this bitch, I didn't did so much of shit in between, you know what I'm saying? Growing up, by the time I was 17, I was the man. I was hustling. Bitch, if you look like you were making more money than me, I was coming get it. You hear me? I was mashing up on niggas. This was back in the days, though. Nobody got hurt, nobody nothing. I'm not indicting nobody, trying to indict myself because nothing happened. I thank God it played out. My life played out the way it played out. You feel what I'm saying? So, bam, the nigga was telling me what a nigga gonna do me when the nigga get out of jail. So I'm like, man, none of you niggas ain't gonna do me nothing. Imagine, I'm in the middle of Hollywood. You feel what I'm saying? That's the hood where Lil Wayne from. Shout out to Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? So, bam, imagine my mama was staying in P-Town. So I was fucking with a little chick in Hollywood, Gert Town, P-Town, Nigga Town, Hollywood, and whatever else in the 17th ward. I'm not sure what else they have out there, but I know it's Gert Town, Nigga Town, P-Town, and Hollywood. So, bam. So I had already bumped into Corey already. He told me he was living in P-Town. So I'm like, oh, okay. And he told me he had something for sale. So I'm like, oh, that's perfect. You understand? So when I told the nigga that, nigga, none of y'all niggas ain't gonna do me nothing. Even when the nigga come home, nigga ain't gonna do me nothing, nigga. You, him, nobody. So me and the nigga going at it. We going back and forth. We going at it. So I'm like, fuck it. So I left. I left my house. I went walk through P-Town. I went holler at my fucking dog now. My dog Corey here. But that nigga, I got the yeah from him. And I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That was the first time I brought my gun. My first gun I actually bro, you know what I'm saying, from a nigga. It wasn't legal, it wasn't none of that. But guess what? I took that same motherfucking gun all the way to Detroit, Michigan for Hurricane Katrina. I kept that bitch. You hear me? And guess what? That bitch only had 3 bullets. I almost had a shootout right there by the third wall, right there by the Noya, with a little nigga that used to be Brother Thomas that I know from way back, but the little nigga didn't remember me. And me and him about to have a shootout on South Robinson Street, but that's a different story. That's another app. So, but I was about to go to war with them same 3 bullets. I had to be 17 years old. I was like 17. So until I got some motherfucking bullets, I kept that motherfucking thing with me. You understand what I'm saying? I kept that bitch with me, dog. So, and she ended up moving to another place and shit like that. And her baby daddy ended up coming home. And man, this nigga went to talking and getting cooler. Long as his kids was all right, he wasn't even tripping on none of that shit. They was over with. You feel what I'm saying? This man was on some grown man shit. Like, man, I didn't expect her to wait on me. And, so I was like, that's cool. And, you know what I'm saying? And then I ain't going to fuck with nobody kids. So if I'm dealing with her, you understand what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't going to fuck over your child. That's one thing I won't do. No children didn't actually come here, you dig? But anybody else, I was getting them bitches. I ain't going to lie. I was So shout out to my nigga Nine Finger Corey. You know what I'm saying? Hope everybody alive and well. You know what I'm saying? This shit was past tense, is old shit, so hope nobody feel clean. And that's just my apps, you know what I'm saying? I hope everybody stays safe. Love everybody, y'all. I'm talking about everybody from all over the world. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to every fucking body, man. I appreciate everybody for rocking with me. And y'all don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if y'all fuck with the content and everything I'm talking about sitting up here. If y'all want to hear some more of this shit, you know what I'm saying? Growing up in that fucking city, it's a wild motherfucker. That was a real jungle. I always say if you survived in New Orleans in the 90s, nigga, you could survive anywhere. Other people say if you survived in the 80s and shit, nigga, you could survive anywhere, nigga. But the 90s, nigga, we was wild, nigga. We had our own cars and shit at the age of 13 and shit. Couldn't even drive, nobody licensed, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? We was really thugging in that motherfucking city. You feel what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody, and I love everybody, y'all. Come back and chill with me, Clark, Boy, Rob. You feel me? Peace.